Canada has a response to this. I'll save the last subject. I actually got one after this, but I'm going to talk about this one. Canada has a response, as usual. Mark Carney, we haven't heard a lot from Mark Carney. We was hearing from Doug Ford. We hadn't heard from Mark Carney. Doug Ford is the premier of Ontario. Mark Carney is the prime minister, the new prime minister that has replaced Justin Trudeau. And this is what he had to say about Trump and his tariffs. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Canada's Prime Minister says the US is driving itself into a recession with its global trade war. The Trump administration has already slapped 25% tariffs on some Canadian goods, including steel and aluminum. And on top of that, the US is planning to raise duties on Canadian softwood from more than 14% to nearly 35%. Canadian leaders warn that will send US home prices.
That machine right there and logging and tree cutting and stuff, that is one of the most dangerous fields that you can get into. Linemen, tree cutting, logging. Boy, it is not uncommon for them to catch an injury, lose a limb, or to die altogether. That is one of the most dangerous industries that you can get in. Even when you're using a machine, it can be very dangerous.
Is skyrocketing. Prime Minister Mark Carney is trying to reassure Canadians that despite all the US imposed chaos, Canada can look after itself.
The world woke up to some pretty dramatic moves, and they're ongoing in financial markets. So before I get to the main subject at hand, I want to spend a few moments talking about what that means for us in Canada. And I think the first observation is what's going on is a direct consequence of President Trump's unjustified tariffs against Canada.
It's pronounced Quinoa.
The tariffs that were first levied on Canada and Mexico and then on the world. And those measures are going to hit a lot of people's savings, including their retirement savings. And as much as this is unfortunate, it was not unforeseen. This is what we have been concerned about. And indeed, this is what we've been trying to warn the President of the United States about. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
We good. We don't need your warnings. We can handle it ourselves. You just go ahead and make your adjustments and to make it move, big dog.
There may be some tough days ahead for Canadians, but I also want to reassure that we...
Nope, stay right there. Tough days ahead for Canadians. You know why? Because y'all don't just relent and then make the adjustment. Y'all want to get in and show that y'all tough. You know why this is going to work? You know why this is going to work? Is because not only is Trump strategic as a businessman, but you cannot negotiate with terrorists. That is a figurative line that I use on a regular basis. How do you battle with a dude that is willing to die for his country? How do you negotiate with a person that has no care in the world because he knows that the United States of America is with them and he truly believes in our values here, that he truly believes in making America great again? When you empower somebody to believe so fervently in what they really doing, and they outside of the political establishment, which means that they have nothing to lose. Listen, they tried to assassinate me. Now y'all understand why Trump was possibly tried to get assassinated 2 times that we know of. You can't negotiate with a person that is not dependent on the establishment to maintain power. When they came outside of the establishment, it's like a person from the hood, right? The reason why it's so easy for a person from the hood, I'll use myself. Born at 20214 Green Lawn between Norfolk and Chippewa, Illinois, and Wyoming, between 7 Mile and 8 Mile, right? And you come from the bottom. I mean the bottom. And you had to catch that bus. Rain, sleet, everybody know Michigan weather. It is bipolar. It was literally shining the first day and then it was snowing the next hour. When you come from that environment, from nothing, and then you give them a little bit of something and they sniff a little bit of success, but they fervently believe in what they're doing, it's nothing you can do to stop that person. Either you're going to have to kill them or you just going to have to relent and move out of their way or get on board and ride that train. Because when you come from a space that you have nothing to lose and you go into it with no reservation and you give everything you got with nothing held back, that person is one of the most dangerous people in whatever respective field that you in, because you know that you can't stop that person. Either you're going to have to kill him or you're going to have to willing to die. And both options, you like, you know what? It ain't worth it. I'm going to have to go ahead and take that L. Most world leaders, Mark Carney, the European president, the woman, or whatever, most of these people, they are worried about whether or not the people are going to agree with them or if their people are willing to endure pain long enough to see them become another term or see them into another term into their presidency or in becoming a prime minister. Because they always worried about that. That's why we've never been able to get anything done inside of the United States of America. Because all politicians cared about the next term. All politicians cared about the next person that was coming up. All politicians cared more about their well-being and their stature and their power and maintaining power and maintaining office and all of this stuff, because they had probably got a whole lot of other benefits that came along with it, that they was never willing to rock the establishment. They was willing to be along, the go along, get along gang, even if it came at the detriment and at the sales of the American people. That's why we needed somebody outside of the establishment that had no ties to anybody, that started their own movement, that was placed there for the people, by the people. Because politicians before, Democrat and Republican, had no spine to do the thing that they even came into office saying that they was going to do. But by the time that they got into office and they got 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in, they became tainted. And they lost the whole purpose and the reason why they ran in the first place. It's like an artist with their first album. They hungry, care nothing about it. All I want to do is get in. All I want to do is rap. All I want to do is tell my story. But then when they start worrying about crowd sizes, because, oh man, is the people still rocking with me? When they was just doing it, it was pure hunger. It was all talent, 100% going, I just want to maul these people. And when they start getting in there and the people stop liking them or they got a little bit of fame, you know what make it difficult? They trying to maintain their seats so they become tainted. Or maybe they got Diddy-fied. Who knows, right? But the point is that it's not pure anymore. You can't negotiate. You can't win against somebody that is just pure. They just pure heart, pure at heart. Blessed is the pure at heart. Blessed is the meek, for they're going to inherit the earth. You can't negotiate with somebody that can't be bought. You can't negotiate with somebody that's pure. We had to have somebody outside of the establishment to come in and do the uncomfortable thing. Otherwise, we are just going straight off the path and straight off the cliff, and it's easy because everybody just going to point the finger at each other. Oh, it was the big guy before me. It was this guy's good. No. Democrats came in. Republicans came in. Hey, we need to do this. We need to fix the economy. We need to take care of business. Obama came in. Hey, we're going to change the world. All he did was gave you the alphabet community and Obamacare. That's all he gave you. And swag. Obama. That's all he gave you. His lasting legacy, all he gave you was gay marriage and Obamacare. You know why? Because he became tainted. And he became a part of the very establishment that he said that he was going to come in and change. Right time, right place, wrong person. We had too many right time, right place, wrong people. So many right time, right place, wrong people. We've seen it in our churches. We've seen it in our communities. We've seen it in politics. We see it in business. Everybody going to come in and they going to do it differently. We going to change the establishment. Power to the people. Then they start telling you to hit the Cash App. First they was going to build a school, then you was all in. And now they telling you snow bunnies never, black queens forever. First they came in talking about all of the problems that was wrong with our children and the medicine that they giving them and the psychological warfare and what's going on in the schools. We're going to do it ourselves. Then they became black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Because they start pandering to the audience that pays their bills and they forgot where they came from and they became interdependent on that success to make them feel good. And now they battling with their kids on live streams and it don't even mean anything anymore. They lose the thing that gave them the vigor to get into the game in the first place, and you got to stay hungry. That's why it says the love of money is the root of evil. Follow me. Come on. We're going to come all the way back to the Canadian Prime Minister. The love, not money itself. Money is a tool. The love of money is the root of all evil because it'll taint you. It'll change the thing that you got into in the first place. And the next thing you know, you don't even know why you're here anymore. Oh, I done lost my way. I'm trying to find myself. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do no more. You came in to change your neighborhood. You came in to help some kids. You came in to fix the community. You came in to make sure that you made sure America was great again. You came in to do all of these things, and it's not until you lose everything that you can actually find yourself again, because you got to get back to that place where you was hungry. Unless you never lost your way in the first place and you always maintain and stay true to who you are. That is the thing that people believe in, and they're willing to endure because they see a door. They see the light at the end of the tunnel. And what you see between Trump and these other leaders is you see a bunch of leaders that are weird, that are so focused on a political career, and that's why they trying to appeal to the American people and telling their people, we're gonna deal with a couple things. This guy gotta get reelected in what, another year? He got another election coming up. Trump, listen, say what you want. 0 for 0 tariffs ain't enough. We want more. I want everything. I want everything that y'all owe me. Trump said, I want everything that the devil stole plus interest. It ain't enough to just say, oh no, tariff for tariff. No, you disrupted our entire economy. You stole all of our jobs. You poured all of this bad steel into the United States of America. You tried to destroy us as a country from the inside out. Now you're trying to tear the people out because you now leaning into the Democrats. Think about this for a second. Think about how they taken over our country and our lives. They came and infiltrated our minds. They realized that it's not about warfare overtly, it's psychological. So what they did was, the same people that don't even believe in the thing that we doing inside of the United States of America from a liberal and progressive perspective, they don't do the things that we do inside of their own country. They don't believe in these liberal policies. They don't believe in homosexuality. They don't believe in the freedom of choice to do what you want to do. They don't believe in non-censoring people. They don't believe that you can send an email out without they vetting it first to make sure that you're not talking negatively about their own political establishment. They don't believe in the very thing that the American establishment is allowing for you to do today, and they using the very people that they don't even like to go against the very thing that's in their best interest. They saying that we need to do this, so we gonna turn them into the thing that we don't like in order to control what's going on in the United States of America. That is the strategy. That's why they keep trying to appeal to the American people. That's why they keep talking about, and it's gonna hurt for y'all. No, it's gonna hurt you. You don't give your kids the same thing that you telling us to take. You don't give your kids it, so why is it good for us, but it's not good for you? Ukrainians don't subscribe to the same mindset that you liberals is talking about. You think that they care about what you're thinking about over in Japan and China? They don't subscribe to the same thing that you rock out with. All of the people that stand with Canada, they don't rock out with what it is that they don't even like you. And you finally got somebody to stand up for the United States of America and say, you know what? Americans first. Didn't say white people first. That's the thing that they using as propaganda against the Democrats to then assert what it is that we got going on, because he disrupted the money. He didn't say white people first. He didn't say black people first. He didn't give y'all no fake promises like Barack Obama. He came through and he said, listen, America first. We going to make America great again. We going to get back to the core values of what made us great. We not going to have no men in women's bathrooms. We not going to have our jobs going overseas. We not going to let nobody continue to make money off of us without us getting a cut. No fly zone inside of America unless we getting our cut. And we want interest on the thing that you stole us. We want from everything that the devil took. We want it back with interest. And they can't negotiate against that because they not in the same position. They never was. All we had to do was realize that we was him the whole time. That's the thing that they try to convince y'all to do. You ain't him. You ain't did this. Man, remember when you used to do that? Remember how you was in high school? Man, I bet you didn't even get no box in high school. What you talking about? You did the right thing. You know why they tell y'all that? You know why they tell your kids that? It's all propaganda to keep you from realizing how great you are. They know that the minute that you realize that you really him, the minute that you realize that you him, that it's over for them. It's over for them. So they come to try to infiltrate the United States of America and say, hey, man, listen, look at what's going to happen. Look at the world markets. They going to tumble. Because they realize that once Americans stick together and come together and realize our power, then we unstoppable. Nobody in this world can stop us. The only way they can tear you down is from the inside out. So they try to appeal to the American people. That's why you've seen so many protests on April 5th. Hands down, we won't go. Hands down, we won't go. Hands down, we won't go. You know why they did that? Because they can't do it themselves, so they empower your dumb ass to do it. Hands down, we won't go. You've seen all of these people, these saucy people. That's why they're trying to appeal to the American consumer.
We are prepared. We foresaw this. And borrowing on my experience helping to guide Canada through the 2008 financial crisis and helping the United Kingdom.
Look at how we helped y'all back in. We looked out for y'all back then. Y'all not going to give us a little bit of break? Weather
the impacts of Brexit. We have been taking steps, and we are continuing to take steps to protect Canadians. What you worry about in these types of situations, if you are charged with overseeing financial markets, are there problems that are being created by the markets themselves, the banks themselves? Are there weaknesses? We do not see that. We have rock solid financial institutions in this country, so they're not making it worse. Okay, so but what is happening in the markets is they are reacting to what we have warned about, which is that these tariffs are fundamentally damaging to the American economy and by extension to the global economy.
Hey, only speak about Canada. Don't speak about America. We got this over here.
So what needs to be done in a situation like this is, yes, there's a lot of technical things and liquidity and lots of work, that needs to be done to make sure the markets function and the markets don't make it worse. I have confidence in the Governor of the Bank of Canada, Minister of Finance, they're on top of it, and also have confidence in Canadian institutions. So Canadians can be reassured on that. But what you need to do in a crisis, and I have long experience in this, is you need to meet it with overwhelming force. You need to meet it with overwhelming force. And the situation at the heart of this is uncertainty about U.S. policy, or to make it worse, is greater certainty that U.S. policy will be self-harming to the American economy and therefore the global economy.
Thanks. We appreciate it, Mark. More liberal than the person that went out of office.